Hello and welcome. Right, I have set the potato harvester going, and I thought it was about time we started our milk empire off, and we went and fetched that. Yeah, so we're going to set this off, and then I'm going to go into a time lapse though, because this is going to be a bit of a monster session. Yeah, in which case, yeah, we'll do a bit of chatting before we go into the lurch that is going to be the monster time lapse. Yeah, let's grab this and let's do a bit of work. Let's grab the tanker. Grab that, take it back. I think this is the last thing. Obviously, we only just bought it, but yes, it's. I'm really well chuffed with. Yeah, I actually. No, I'm going to get all technical again about modding and stuff. So no, I do go. It's typical. I say I'm a real geek. And I'm proud of it as well. Yeah, it's wow. You can have an accident, mate. You know, like it's his right away. Well, it's not perfect, but I've got to be honest. I am quite pleased. They've done a very good job. Yeah, of that particular aspect, it's not perfect. None of it's perfect, but it is a very. I've got to be honest, of all of the games I've ever played, well, yeah, Star Wars Galaxies, yeah, a lot of things, yeah, that I have, but this is sort of like goes well beyond. Oh, wow, cancelled straight away. I think I probably double pressed it. I'm a terror for it. Right, now we should see. I can't remember. Yeah, there's a few sort of little things you've got to learn when you. No, I'm doing it again. We're going to modding. Right, let's repair this because I can see it's got a bit of. Yes, it has got a bit of damage. So let's. This shouldn't need repairing because it's brand spanking new. Yeah, so this is sort of my personal attempt at the Omatana, but without modelling a new. It is strange. It's I was watching Farmer Bob. Obviously, I would eventually like to do a map, and in some ways, a map's a bit easier than modding equipment. Some ways. Yeah, and no, that doesn't need repairing. Yeah, in some ways, but obviously we're talking a whole new scale. Oh, no, he's waiting for those, so we'll be clever and go another way. Yeah, it's not that we don't care about those people. Yeah, but Farmer Bob was sort of showing all of these. Yeah, and I didn't. Yeah, the one thing I got wrong was, well, that I will correct on camera, because obviously quite a lot of people are interested in modding. A lot of people lose. Yeah, I think a lot of people in life, nothing ever comes easy. And if you think you're going to get into modding and it's going to be a doddle, it's not. It's very, very deep stuff. But you don't have to go that deep. What I mean is, there's a lot of things you can do, and there's a lot of things. Giants have tightened up on FS25. There's a lot of things like this model here. You can't. It's all right. Giant saying we don't want base game edits. Well, there's no way you can do anything else other than this, because they've put some sort of mask around the mods now in the editor, so you can't get into it. I can't alter the shape of it. I can't alter the colours. I can't make it my own because of the mask. So really, what I could do is go to FS22 where the AB was a real thing, and that I can edit. Yeah, because they didn't do it there. It's weird. So it's sort of almost like they're stopping you modding, sort of thing, or putting quite a big stumbling block in the way. And I'm not sort of kidding. It really is like that, right? It's indicate. We still, yeah. Let's soften that as well. That's annoying. It is. Yeah, because it's. Luckily, there's no manure in there as of yet, because it was only did a few minutes ago. So I'm still doing it again, aren't I? Still like going on about it. It's weird, yeah. I do like the way it does that. It really equalises very well, even if it doesn't do lots of other things. Right, smashing. It looks a lot better. I've got to be honest. It is. again, I am sort of giving credit where credit's due. There is a lot of things, but yeah. No, we're not going to say anything too bad. Yeah, I don't want to be like being rude or casting aspersions. I mean, I'm surprised we've not got anything though. Mind you, I've got to be honest, FS22 was a bit weird for manure. It was. Yeah, you got to be honest, it was very hit and miss. Ooh. Oh, okay. Oh, it's a bit of a step there, isn't there? And again, it doesn't let you do the raise lower thing. Yeah. So I'm not sure. I don't think no matter how much you like ram it. Oh, okay. Okay. All right then. Just start ramming it then. That will do the job. Did you see how quick that filled? Did you see? That was in the blink of an eye. Right, we need to switch it on as well. Yeah, I did start to think when I've done a few models about speed of unload and things like that, that people like Omatana and Black Sheep Modding would do like automatically, whereas some modders just don't. But the other thing is, there's lots of different approaches. Now, some modders are going to mod to benefit you, the player, which is probably the way that I would go. So I would want to give you a reasonable, not silly, but like a reasonable thing. I mean, because some things, the TPS was just stupendous. It really was, by Sariga, and I hope he does the same again. But it was a no frills trailer. It was just a bed, and it was only one wheel at the front and then 2 single wheels at the back. So it was made cheaply, and it did have foibles. But then, of course, you've got really posh ones. Right, anyway, let's concentrate on the... No, it's the dairy. So what are we doing? Because we need to decide, because we've only got a little bit. So that produces 20. But I'm liking this. That's 3 does 45. I think we're going to do that and see how that goes. We can't do everything. In fact, actually, it's true. We can only do... I think we'll leave the buffalo milk bottled, because it reduces the... No, that ain't doubles. We'll do that as well, because although it reduces... Yeah, we shall see how that goes, because if you... Yeah, let me show you. I don't think I showed you this last time. Wasn't too much of a rush. If we look at the buffalo mozzarella, that's on hard economy. You can imagine what that would be like in normal. Now, don't get me wrong. It's going to take some buffalo mozzarella to make that, because it's, and butter likewise. It's not terribly good, but we've just seen the ratios for that. The buffalo, it's all good. Even that is brilliant as well, but this is a bit special, and that's what I was saying. It might be low yield, and it is, but it is... Yeah, I looked at this and I thought, these are a bit special. Oh, my love, look at those horrible. He's been... Yeah, there was another update earlier, and it's still not done anything. Just check on my computer. No, yeah, it's got do not disturb is switched on, so it's not like the game's not doing as it should do. Now with this, we could sort of go for because it's true, the Missy B, it doesn't sort of exist at the minute as a slurry yard. Yeah, even to it sometimes takes a while for those sort of things to... Right, anyway, let's just see how we're doing across the road. As I'd imagine. Still 68%. Now, the one thing I am going to say is, obviously, I know roughly how much I would get from this field, but I don't know if this is like the Mark IV and it damages your potates. So I'm not... Yeah, if I get 100,000 litres off this field this size, then I know this damages, because I know how much I would have got off the other one. So, right, let's go grab the... let's like do a good job. Right, I'm going to go into a time lapse now. Yeah, I'm going to see you guys and gals on the other side. Do you know, I don't get it. Why is that tractor stuck in that corner when there's nothing to cut? He's got a mower. There's no way that I just don't get it. They absolutely... It's the worse than ever. All these updates are like making them... They're just like crazed idiots. I mean, no matter, even if, right, at the very worst thing, if you were going to come in and do an absolute, like, turn like that, you could still do that without going like that. I don't get it. I mean, I'm determined to do the field myself because they're just dipsticks that waste cash. They really are. Wallies. The sooner Courseplay's done, the better. Sorry, I was trying so hard not to, but I've got to be honest. After the third or fourth time of thinking, why? It's like he was stuck on there, and I'm like, well, why are you even there? I did the headlands for you, so that all you got to do was the up and the downs. You're only supposed to do 2 headlands unless I tell you to do more. So why, when I've done 2 headlands, are you still going around the headland? I don't get it. They're nutters. They're not following programming, so obviously Giants are doing... It reminds me ever so much of FS22. On the day of release, your workers fairly well went from A to B. And yeah, okay, it wasn't perfect, but you could learn the foibles of like what you needed to learn to make it work. Yeah, I used to like go on the road worked best, so I went on the road because it worked best, or I found it did. I might have been imagining it, but it worked better for me, so I got my little tricks, and then they kept tweaking it, and it got worse and worse, to the point that on Calmsden at the very end of FS22 I'd got to like really... Ooh, no, yeah, go and try, we'll give you one last chance, you absolute nutter. So sorry. Oh, it just... everybody, you do lose patience after a bit, no matter how patient you are, and I'm fairly patient for things like that, but it's just... It defies logic. It's not supposed... Look, it's on the headland again. Why, oh why is he on the headland? It's cut. Right, okay, right, enough. Just, yeah, I'll do it myself in a minute. You are a nutter. Crazy dude. Oh my life. It just defies logic. I've got to be honest, the potato one's not much better. I put him on the line, he's on his, again, headlands are done. Put him on the line and he decides to go right across the crop and start at the top again. I just don't get it. And he did eventually pick it up. I'm trying to be patient, and I'm trying to like think perhaps there's a pattern to this, or but it's sort of totally random. If any... Yeah, oh boy, I'm done. They attack the trucks. Now, there's one thing I do realise, that, and it is true of all harvesters, there's a behaviour that's programmed in them. Every single time that you go close with a trailer, they will do their pipe. It's just the way that it's programmed. Now, I know that, but they were still like locking horns with me as I'm trying to, like escape, and they're just like still careering into me. It's right, let's... We'll stay a bit out of the way. Gordon Bennett. Yeah, I'm hoping he doesn't damage the crop. But yeah, we shall. Yeah, let's get this done. Yeah, it's almost like he's trying to get that bit of the field that doesn't exist, and maybe it is that. Maybe it's that us doing that kind of grass he's got to, it's not, in his mind it's not finished because it's part of the field, but it's part, I mean, yeah, well, they can read, I suppose what I could do, it is all about learning what makes the AI tick, what, you know, why is it going wrong? So if it is that when all I need to do really is actually do what they used to do in all the older maps, it looks ugly, and that's why I don't like doing it. I was putting grass, but it's grass and they cut in grass. So what I'm saying is, if they are reading the edge of the field as grass that's supposed to be cut because we sowed it, yeah, I don't know, it's, oh, I don't know, I'm trying to surmise, but I was ploughing around this field like a mad thing, infuriated at their behaviour, but yeah, it is what it is. But as I say, it's sort of like as we're sort of 2 or 3 weeks in, it's almost like they're doing what they did with the AI when it was, I mean, obviously day release, everyone was showing off the fact you can send your workers from this point on the map to this point on the map, and it did work fairly well. As I said, as time went on, it seemed to work worse and worse. Like they were programming it, and it was like getting whatever they were telling it to do instead of what they had told it, was actually making matters worse. And I said at the very end, I mean, Calmsden that had worked at the beginning, at the end, mind you, it was always a little bit, I suppose, yeah, it was a little bit funny, even on Calmsden. You'd got, and this is what I'm saying, you had to learn the rules that the AI used, because it wasn't just any old, yeah, not any old rule. It was, there were certain places you could click on. There were almost always, and I've used that trick here, almost always guaranteed that you can send them to the shop. Again, when you're zoomed in or zoomed out of your map, where you're clicking isn't actually where you're clicking, and that's what I'm saying. There's certain rules that you learn, and that is one of them. That when you're clicking, you've really got to be, to do it accurately, you've got to zoom right in, and then where you click is exactly where you click. It's a bit like I drew everyone's attention last time, or it might have been this session actually, to the fact that if you zoomed out, your tractors look like they're on the road, and that's my point. If you click on the roads, is it the road if you're zoomed out? Not necessarily, and that's my point. The game's got certain conventions, you have to learn the conventions, the rules that they go by, sort of thing. So I thought, it's August, if we cut it and like even if we stuck it just as grass and then tipped it out onto the field, that's, you know, like 60 tons, and did 60 tons of tedding, being as we've got the tedder and there is no Omatana that can do it for you, then not that I don't mind tedding, I really don't, but obviously the thing that gets me is if you've got to manually do this, you set a worker going to TED and he'll TED the whole field and you only wanted half of it doing, there's no way to tell him, and you get caught up in a job and you think, oh no, I only wanted half the field doing, it's too late. It's done. Which is why I thought, well, it wouldn't matter if we tedded right now and then windrowed this entire field because we've still got a lot of silage left from the first time. It was 100 tons, we took about 30 odd, so, and again we're going to need to put more silage in. So I thought, well, if we do this all as hay, you can actually go mad with hay anyway. You can do 2 to 1, so it doesn't matter if I've got too much hay, that's not a bad thing. Alright, so how are we doing across the roads? Yeah, it's doing nicely. I mean, yeah, again, we did better with the side mower as well, so yeah, perhaps, but it could well be the fact that that is grass and it's not edging as workers are sort of programmed naturally to sort of like look for the edge line. Brilliant. So let's just see if you can actually do the ups and the downs. For 2 minutes while I'm actually gone, or are you going to go straight? Yes, you are. Okay, forget it. Forget it. You absolute nutter. Yeah, it's got to be something weird for that to actually go like that. Now then, I think he's coming the wrong way. He's liable to get full by the time. Still quite a lot to do, actually. The reason I'm not being lazy either. I'm doing this for a reason. At the beginning of like any of the FSs, you've got to learn. And again, I've mentioned this story many times. The Orstoft in FS22 was a brand new bit of kit that was released quite early on. And I jumped in it, as you do, all excited to use this thing that is bigger than the old one, and was trying to be careful because I know about damage. Thought I'd done a good job. Then the game glitched, and I lost the save. I had to go to a backup save. So I had an opportunity, and I thought, well, hang on, this is a perfect opportunity to test. So let's test. It's going to probably, like saves fall a little sooner than I'm expecting. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, so basically I let the worker, I can't remember it, no, it was the Orstoft, it was exactly the same test, because it would be unfair otherwise. Even a different machine, it's not the same scientific sort of test. It's not fair at that point. You're not testing the same as you were the time before because it's a different machine. No, that was all me. Yeah, it was. Yeah, no, mind you, I think the ropers always had that problem. It's the workers can lift it up higher though, or they used to be able to. In FS22 and FS19, because I remember Frithgar saying when it's under human control, it always goes low like that, but the AI can lift it, whereas we can't do that. Yeah, so it's sort of really about learning the foibles of like the workers and the system that everything sort of has. So yeah, right, let's stick that back up. Let's send it back down, and we will carry on mowing the grass. Plus the worker with a 3 meter seems incapable. He wants to go to the top of that field all the time. So it's got to be something to do with a bit of grass or something that's drawing into it. Well, I suppose you say that, but I suppose really you can't. Huh? Yeah, that's another thing, them giving up like that. When there's a field full of like, yeah, it did it last session. As I said, it's weird. It's almost like, yeah, let's just crack on. Let's get this done ourselves. Yeah, I can rely on myself. I can't rely on them at all. Absolute nutters. Yeah, I'm not. So on the whole, it's been all right, but and again, I suppose actually I've got to be honest. Even Courseplay would run really well, but it's programming. Sometimes the programming glitches, and that was true even of Courseplay 2. You'd have some times when Courseplay would just refuse to behave, and it would be terrible, and that's because the engine was misbehaving. But then another night you'd be on and Courseplay would behave absolutely spot on all night long. So it's probably like that. The game engine does its programming. Sometimes the programming glitches, and when it does, it's just that's what you've got to expect, really, that things just go nutty. So it could well be that. Yeah, so you just got to like live with it, I suppose. Right, anyway, there's still quite a lot to do. There is. Yeah, I'm going to say my words because otherwise, apologise for like flipping and like ranting. But oh my life, you sort of try to be patient 2 or 3 times, and then like you're patient. You try to be patient the 4th time, and then you think, enough. I've given you every opportunity and you've gone and totally stuffed up again, 1 time too many. So yeah, right, anyway, time lapse time. Yeah, I'm going to see you guys and gals on the the other side. Right, yeah, I was just... Obviously, I'm not going to speed time, but we do need to get the hay off the fields next session. But yeah, this was always the main job. Gotta be honest, for saying how big the field is, I'm going to have to check the Rizu Forest size of the hectares, but it's an awful lot smaller than this. I would say this is twice as big. Twice as big. So something's not right. So I would say this is a bit like the Mark IV. But let's have a look first and see. Let's also put that up a little to give us a bit more swing room. Yeah, this is probably another. Yeah, I think we need another shed, but we're going to need one for the bigger ones. So let's have a look. Let's have a real look. I was trying to work out, and it doesn't always work well when you try to do that. We are going to need, obviously, to set. In fact, yeah, we'll grab the fence. In fact, no, we'll grab the other one's nearly as powerful. There's only about 10, so we'll grab that and set that going so that it's over the winter it's being done. Yeah, because obviously next session I've got to get that hay up off there anyway. As I said, I'm going to just treat it as meadow grass, so we're not like doing anything special with it, but let's just reverse. Yeah, there's still quite a bit of room on it, that's what I say. It's all down there. This is all ours. Well, nearly all ours. So there's a bit of room down here. We could see if Matana's got one of the tall. She did used to have a taller shed that was taller deliberately, just. But it is early days, though. I'm not expecting her to literally have. Let's just quickly grab that other tractor and grab the plough. I'm keeping it at the 6 metre at the minute, the plough, because, or the 9, whatever it is at the minute, I'm going to keep it at that, because none of the tractors are really capable of going the next size up. I think, well, it'll tell us in a second. Looks like the 9. Another saw. I think it is. That's definitely bigger than a 6. Yeah, that's the 9, definitely. So let's set you going. And then we're going to have a look. How did we actually do with those potatoes? Yeah. I don't think as well as I expected. I would have expected double what I got off Rizu Forest. And I don't think I'm going to have got anywhere near that. 256, so that's an extra 40 tonnes, 40,000 litres than Rizu Forest. That's really terrible. So I would say that beautiful harvester is doing what the Mark IV did, which is to destroy them. So what I'd like to do is, yeah, I'd like to grab another, just a dedicated harvester as a test. But it'd have to be on exactly the same field, no increased headland. There's not much room anyway. It'd have to be the same, so that would mean we have to leave this for potatoes for next year, because I'd like to do it, yeah, I'd like to do it justice. I mean, the rope is really a sugar beet harvester, isn't it? And that's what I think happened to Mark IV's. Each one of them has got a specialisation, and although you're allowing it to, if it's, yeah, it's something's not right in game mechanics for it to actually sort of do that. So right, let's have a look. So how much? It's not going to be worth much more than the 55 that I did on, yeah, 65,000 in December. So an extra 10,000. And obviously the good news is, obviously we have the harvester. So well, if we know that potatoes are terrible, as in like it's bad, so and we know that everything else, it's a sugar beet harvester, so that would mean that its sugar beet would be the best. It would be a bit like using the DeWolf, and it should be very good at vegetables, but if this does work in that way, and it does seem to, then Again, we'd have to test a little bit more than we have at present, but yeah, it's I'm not going to go through. Yeah, I wanted to go press through till tomorrow, but it's that's a bit not me for 6 and a bit. Wow, that's good. 6,600, so 7.6 tons of that. Yeah, it's done about 900 litres. And since earlier it was about nearly 10. So right, so that's where I'm going to leave it. That's a bit deflated me, but it's not surprised me. Not really. I was hoping, very, very hoping. So I am right as well, aren't I? think that the one we've got it does sugar beet too. I keep missing the sugar beet on the, so it's the root crops one. Yeah, it does sugar beet, beetroot, carrots and parsnips. So that's be interesting. Its proper thing is parsnips. Sorry, is I'm looking at that and thinking that's a parsnip. That's a beet. Yeah, sugar beet. The sugar beet is its proper thing. So I did imagine that was as good because it is a roper than anything else. Now I think that was the same as the Homer. Now the Homer's a potato harvester. So I think that we'd have, if you went for a potato harvester and tried to add carrots and all the rest on, something's not right. Unless you change the header to be exactly the same, its function is not going to work right. And I would say that's true of real life, although no, I would imagine that's true. You can sort of adapt things, but you're going to lose some of the. You don't make specialist harvesters to do a special thing and then expect to be able to do everything with the same harvester. If you do, it might do it, but it's not going to do it as well as a dedicated specialist unless you adapt that harvester to each one of those specialities exactly the same as that. In other words, it sort of becomes a 5-in-1, not a 1-in-1 like it is at present. Nothing changes about harvester or the way it functions. It's just got another header that someone's added the fruit to it, which is obviously I would do the same. And to be honest, it sort of shows that although it's good and most people might think it's all right, but it's not. It really isn't, and we've sort of proved that. Yeah, because the Rizu forest, we did that with the proper little, the 1.5. It sort of taught me something because I was going to do the same myself as what they've done. It does sort of show that although you can do that, you're not really changing anything. We've taken heavy losses. I would say we've destroyed about 50% of the crop because it's destructive. You know what I mean is it's destructive. The way that would lift sugar beet is not the same way that you could lift potatoes, so potatoes would get damaged, and that's really what it's done. The game is actually the physics have sort of done exactly, which is why of course giants don't do that, why there are dedicated machines that do each one of the things. I'd imagine the Quattro, but I'd like to try that. You never know with any of these really if any of them have got a better way of doing things. Now this is a vegetable harvester. Now the property wolf, again, it's still going to throw it out like or on the side, but the Quattro, that's been adapted to potatoes. I think that'll be as bad, but it depends if it's, yeah, because it's a built-in. I think that'll be the same. I think if we use the wolf, would be worthwhile actually saving the game, turning autosave off, and actually doing the harvest 2 or 3 times, just to see if I'm right. Yeah, it would be nice to sort of compare a proper potato harvester. No, it's a potato planter. I think, yeah, that the big Grimmy Ventor would probably, I know it's got a smaller hold and it's got a much smaller header. I think it's 2.75 or 3 meters maybe. It's a push. Let's have a look. I think it's all my life. That's slow. I'm sure it looks like a 3 now. I'm sure. Can't pull back properly. It won't let me move very much. It's quite, yeah, it's about as thick as the machine. I'd say it's a 3 meter now. A little bit less. I used to be 2.75, not this model, but I mean the older one. I remember doing it, and it's showing you the header size. Does it show the header size on that one? No, not really, but it looks like a 3 meter to me. So it'd be interesting to see if we did that, what we would get the yield off that same field. And I'd like to do that, do the Venter. How much would that be to lease? About 40 odd grand? 30, yeah, 30,000. So obviously it wouldn't be for the cash, but it would be for the satisfaction of knowing if I'm right, yeah, scientifically, because I don't know if anybody else sort of knows this as which, or were they caught up in the same excitement I was with the Mark IV originally, where you like think, and the only reason I know it is because on the Italian map we did potatoes with a proper potato harvester the year before, and it was weird when I'd done it with the Mark IV, because I came in and I thought, oh, this makes it real light work of the potatoes. It does, it's true, but it was at the end of it, I got this feeling. I thought, hang on a minute, I'm sure we got more than that last time. And then when I went back to the YouTube thing, literally 50%. It destroyed 50% of the crop, like I think this will do. Because I'm sure I'm going to check the Onrizu Forest, and I'll screenshot. In fact, I might do it right away now. And so this one is a 2.42. Oh no, 4.74. Now I'm sure that's double, but we'll check, and I'll screenshot it and I'll bring it in next time so that we can all see, so that you can see literally, yeah, and I'll screenshot what we got from that particular session as well as the size of the field. So yeah, but I am going to scoot. All that remains to be said is thank you very much for watching. Truly do hope you're going to stick with me on this journey, and I'm going to say goodbye for now.